All right, ladies and gentlemen, and we are back. Welcome to another live Pendergast podcast on this beautiful Sunday, afternoon where I am, early, kind of late in the morning where Andrew and Chris is. And listen, this weekend's full of road racing. We got BSB, we got MotoGP, of course, we got Moto Americas. Before we get into this, big shout out to all my friends racing around the world. Every single one of you got this. Let's fucking go, people. Big shout out to my man Ashens and, of course, Juju too as well. So, yeah. Dude, Chris, Andrew, welcome back to the podcast, fellas.
What's up? Nice to be here.
Hey,
Yeah, man.
thanks for having us
Always an
again.
honor.
I think this is like round 3,
Yeah, man.
round 4.
Yeah, for the both of you, but Andrew, you've been on here several times before, so yeah, absolutely. It's always an honor. Listen, gentlemen, we actually have a lot to talk about because it's been over a year, I think, since you two have been on the show with me. So let's just jump into it and talk about, everything that happened last year and 2025, and we'll take it from there. So let's go.
Who wants to go first? Andrew, you want to go first?
What happened last year? Oh, man, it's already a blur.
Right.
I think. I mean, I had a pretty interesting time racing the ZX6R in Mexico. That was kind of wild, actually, because I had done some TTs and done the hill climbs, but not on a full sport bike chassis, like road race bike. So that was pretty interesting.
A lot of fun.
Yeah, it is fun. It's a nice change of scenery. Chris and I are actually going to go again to that event in like 3 weeks. There's a hill climb and a TT race, and it's been growing every year. There's it's cool seeing a good mix, like the British, Irish guys, some locals, a lot of Americans.
Yeah, my buddy Hunter Malone is actually doing it too.
Yes, I think I just talked to Hunter a couple weeks ago. I heard he'll be coming out, so that'll be fun. I assume he races a leader bike. I'm not too familiar.
I'm trying to remember. You put me on the spot. I don't want to mess it up. I don't think it is a leader bike. I think it's a 600 if I'm not mistaken. But I'll find out for sure.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. It's exciting on the 600 1000. I think I had the most fun doing that type of course in the Supermoto just because of the way the bike's set up and the suspension, but like you can really really get pretty fast. Like I think at some of the flat out spots, especially at the start of the course where it's straighter, I was definitely hitting like high 150s, pretty much maxing out the bike. So you're doing almost like 160 miles an hour and then just dropping an anchor on some just mountain road.
I love it. I think real road racing is the true aliens of the sport. Not taking nothing away from Marquez or Rossi or any of them guys, but the real road racers, all the men and women that do it, especially the monkeys and the sidecars, are just fucking plumb nuts to me, right?
That's crazy.
You trust the guy next to you, and then you fly off the cliff.
Right. I mean, but anything, the Baja, the one in Mexico, all of them in Ireland, any road racing, it's absolutely amazing. Are you there, Andrew? I think we lost him, Chris.
That's all good.
It's all good. Yeah. So you go.
Mine. Yeah.
There you go.
All right. So little recap on my racing career thus far. Right. Andrew's been doing it a little longer than I have, but I started racing in 2020. 2019 is kind of when I started really training hard because my goal was my goal was just go be a competent track rider in general. But then I wanted to race, and I go, you know what? I don't want to be a novice. I want to go be an expert, right? So let's put in the work for it. 2019, man, I had that dog in me. I was out there training kart track almost every weekend for like months on my R3, which I still have. Great bike. 2020 started with the AFM. 2021, I kind of like peaked pretty quick. And then 2022, was my first year doing Moto America. Just did the Laguna round on my R3. Again, I still have that bike. I'm never gonna let it go. It's too cheap to sell. Like it's worth it. Just the memories for me. Kept it going. 2023 upped it to twins. So I have my FCO7. I did Moto America twins. Did well. Scored points. Qualified okay. So I felt good. But then after 2023, I kind of just got like burnt out. Right? It was just like years and years of doing it in a row. I didn't grow up riding, so for me it was like I didn't have this like life kind of attraction to it, like how some people do. And then 2024 was tough because I kind of had like lost my motivation. I wasn't training anymore. I was just like showing up, doing a race, like only riding 5-6 times a year, and then just like, okay, I had a big crash in 2024, blew my bike up, and then that sets you back more, right? Like, 'cause now you need to overcome the mental aspect of the sport, which is very difficult. And in 2025, this year, I've tried to kind of get back to where I was, but I guess the main lesson I learned is if you don't put in the work, you're not gonna, maintain your skill. It's a perishable skill, just like shooting a gun, right? Like, so anyway, so here we are in 2025. Kind of been taking a break a little bit, but been working out, right? Working out, getting stronger, which is good. Yeah, I'm like, I work out more now than I ever have in my life, which is amazing. And I'm excited over the winter especially since it kind of gets cool, because I'm in LA, it's hot. The kart track, it's like 100 degrees at the kart track. I don't want to go melt, So now that it's the winter, I'm looking forward to training. I have a mini, I have an Ovale. Andrew just got a mini as well. So we can do some training and just set up for a good, happy, healthy 2026.
I love it, man. I love it. Speaking of losing the motivation, man, it happens from time to time, right? It's you're in it and you put all your energy, let's say, in one basket, and that's all you focus on. And then it comes to a point to where it kind of tailors off and you're like, I kind of want to do something else right this second, but again, that's the whole mental side of the game too, as well. Main thing is you didn't lose your love for it, obviously, because you're coming back, which is the good news. So let's go, Chris, right? And dude, as far as the mini moto, bro, I think that's the best thing anybody can do, even grown adults, mini moto racing.
Yeah.
It teaches you so much. It's so much fun. It's cheap. It's just smiles for miles is what I say.
Right. For sure. Less risk, cheaper. It's expensive to go burn a 180 Pirelli. But the mini moto, you can ride that shit for like 100 track days and the tires are still good on it, So it's great. And I will tell you one thing, look behind me. What I've been doing recently to kind of get that dog back in me, car sim racing. It's fun on iRacing. And that's, actually, as soon as we're done with this podcast, boot it up, go back there, play on it. And it's freaking fun, man. There's so many talented people. I'm waiting for them to come out with a good motorcycle simulator, because right now there is no moto sim.
That's a tough one. I think it's really hard to simulate motorcycle riding.
Bike, for sure.
Yeah, I agree, Andrew. It's funny you say the video game. I always wanted to set up, Chris, like you got in the background, but I'm just looking at it. I'm sure that's $5,000 or more you got in that setup right there.
Around there, but you don't need to spend that much on it.
Yeah,
there's so much good stuff now that's come out for cheap. And again, dude, compared to my twin, my FCO7 motor, my built motor, had issues. Dude, that's like $7,000 to rebuild, and in one more year it's gonna blow up again. Versus that, you spend the money, you're good forever. You can, well, not forever, but you know what I mean. You can play that thing 100 hours a day, every day.
I love it. Yeah, no, it's good. I love to play video games. I actually played for a while yesterday. Far Cry 6. My buddy kept in my ear about Far Cry 6. So I figured I'd give it a try. So
that's the one with the actor in it.
Yeah. It's good.
Juan Carlos, whatever his name is.
I couldn't get into it. I gave that one a couple hours and I was like, it's just.
Yeah, I'm about 3 hours into it now. I mean, it's decent. Of course, I play the shit out of Ride 5, but I just had Jack Hammersley on, a good mate of mine out there in the UK. He's the double-time Moto eSport world champion for the MotoGP video game. And bro, you talking about fast, dude? It's incredible what these guys are doing on that video game on the motorcycles. It's just plumb nuts.
Do you know what they play it on? Do they play it on a controller?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, because I was like, wait, do all of them have bike sims at home, or I don't know? Okay.
And it used to be to where I learned a lot about it. Like, it used to be where the MotoGP teams actually picked the the people that they want to represent their players, right? And then sometimes they'll fly them out to the racetracks and get them a hotel and provide a rental car and give them the team shirts, and because you're part of the team, because it's a real championship within MotoGP, which is really cool, right? Who would have thought, Chris and Andrew, dude, we'd have a MotoGP video game world championship? Really? Like,
I know, right?
Let's practice and qualify, and if we qualify, we're in the big game, right? And then we get a sponsor team, and next thing you know, we're racing for real, right? Which is crazy.
That is crazy. All the Formula One teams as well, they have their car sim teams, like, and these guys are paid, I mean, they're like, they are elite athletes. I mean, they are like, it's
I want that job. Sign me up.
Right.
You know what I mean? Oh, it's awesome. But yeah, so listen, you guys said Mexico trip in 2-3 weeks, I heard.
Yep.
All right. Yep. Well, tell us about that. How did all this come about? Tell everybody what you guys are going to be doing, what classes, what races, the bikes.
I'm not racing. Andrew's racing. I'm his chauffeur. And he's gonna have to smuggle me across the border.
He said, "I'm his umbrella bitch."
I'm not sure how many years have I done that event now. I want to say started, like, time is going too fast.
Maybe
like 2021. I think this could be like the 4th event. And let's see, I've done lightweight, done middleweight, did the 600 super sport. I have a red, white, and blue, like, USA flag number 25 supermoto, like, super patriotic, that I set up that livery just to race in Mexico and kind of, represent the country. So I'm gonna bring that out again. It just needs a rebuild. It was an AMA motocross guy's bike, YZ450. I got off him, and then I put a bunch of time on it, so it's beyond tired. But that I believe that's the middleweight class, and let's see if I can beat my own lap record, and then see how close I can get to Carlin Dunn. I believe Carlin Dunn still has the lap record, at least in that class, not the overall. But he was a real legend. I'm sure you know.
Oh yeah.
You probably did you ever meet Carlin? Because I know you're so in touch with real road racing. But he was one of the first guys to kind of like set up and do that run, and he's actually got a YouTube video still on his channel, so you can see the whole course. And he was just it's just crazy watching him do it basically perfectly and no fear. He's just fully pinned, like, every corner where he knows he's not gonna run off the cliff, and it's exciting. Sometimes I wonder, like, what's broken in our brains, because you were like Chris was joking about someone going off the cliff, and I actually have seen at least a couple people crash and go down the cliff, like seeing cars like spin out, hit the wall, or like start going down the guardrail. And so it's kind of crazy to like see that and just shrug it off and then keep racing. But
I think that it comes to, just like anything in racing, fellas, it's, we accept the risk, but we don't think about what could be or what could happen. We just want to give it our all because we're so hyper focused on what we need to do and our love for it, right? So it's just like, the best way I can explain the difference between a TT rider and a short track racer, right, is there's just, I see it as they are more comfortable at racing at those speeds in a confined space versus your average road racer that's wants to go that fast in a wide open confined space, if that makes sense, right? Meaning that you have ample runoff room, you ain't got walls or telegraph poles or any of that shit, right? Cars, none of that, dogs barking, chickens running across, you ain't got none of that shit, right? So it's they're more comfortable here doing that, and then when they watch real road racing, they're like, holy shit, are you kidding me right now? Like, it's badass, but I couldn't do it because it's all right here, right? That's exactly where it is. So they just got that little something to where they're just that comfortable in a space this big with telegraph poles and all that shit going, which to me, crazy, dude, it is. And it's harder because think about it. Let's say you show up one year, Andrew, like you're going to Mexico, right? And there's a certain hedge or bush that you're used to visual braking marker, right? Let's say it's gone. Now that corner is different.
that's something I really have learned the last couple of years. Is like the course changes. Yeah. So I've done it at least a few times now, and yeah, there can be like a crack or bump that wasn't there before, or one part gets repaved and now it's better when it was worse in the past, or just the track got cleaned a little bit better, a little bit worse than normal in one spot. So it is really variable. It's and like you said, yeah, it could just be like vegetation. You can see one corner that you could or couldn't see in the past, and it's a big mental game. It's really difficult, memorizing like 100 corners or however many it is. It's like I forgot how many miles the course is, but it's like, let's say like Circuit of the Americas is a pretty long track. I think like around like 20 corners, something like that. So multiply that by like 8, and it's a lot to memorize. And yeah, without having like runoff and who knows, buildings to hit, whatever. It's tough. So I have a lot of respect for like the Dunlops and all those guys that are just riding a leader bike flat out, where one mistake you're gonna hit a building. I do like that in the course they have in San Pedro Martir, there's not really any buildings you're gonna hit. Um, Technically it's possible, but you'd have to be pretty motivated to go that far off course into the houses.
Oh, I'm sure, right? But let me ask you this. First question for Chris is this the first time you've been to this race circuit in Mexico?
No, I went once
Okay.
with Andrew. I think it was the first year, or was it, or second year?
I think the first
2021,
couple of years.
2022.
I think the first couple of years Chris
How many
came.
times did I go? I don't even remember. I don't know. All I know is I'm going again. So, but,
Too
Yeah,
many
no,
tequila
Chris
shots
came,
and margaritas.
Chris came the first couple of years. I've been trying to get him to compete, but
they have rental
someone
bike. I could rent a bike and go do it, but I don't know. I just
that someone needs to start shaming Chris into
right.
racing. I don't know how else
Yeah.
I can motivate him.
Chris,
Um,
what's the deal? Let's do it.
Oh. Hold on. ChatGPT, make an excuse for me.
Right. Oh shit. It's funny, dude, because I used the shit out of Chat GTP or whatever it's called.
yeah,
It's
it is
I
a
feel
lot.
like
Dude.
real
Um,
quick, just to change the subject, I feel like that is going to change a lot of the our sport tremendously. I feel like in the future we're not going to have the engineers no more because you can just plug your laptop up, ask ChatGPT or whatever program they got, and it's going to do it all for them. So it's going
all the Ducati engineers are just asking ChatGPT how to tune the bike.
to right.
Oh, really?
It's fun. I've played around with that a little bit, just seeing like what feedback it'll give, and you can put um like tuning scenarios in there, and sometimes it does actually give like pretty valid feedback. It's just the problem is you have to really double check everything it says. So I don't think it's at a point where it's reliable enough, but yeah,
In the future, it will be
imagine 2, 3, 5, 10 years in the future, it's gonna really have like changed society.
100%.
that
100%.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess the bike's just gonna ride itself. Yeah, who knows? They're gonna have like AI traction control where the system's learning the track as you go. Who knows?
I don't want to see that. That absolutely not. No, it's because that just takes away all skill from the human.
Yeah, no, I totally get that. And lately, I've been kind of agreeing with you more in that. When I was a little bit younger, yeah, I guess I'm like old enough to say that now. It's crazy. That's how long we've been like racing, doing the podcast. More than 10 years racing. I used to like just really be enthralled with the electronics because it was just so cool and that was really high tech and fun. But now that I've raced a while and seen the sport at a different angle, I guess, I do think that like series like BSB where they don't have the electronics, it's better racing because keeps the cost down for the competitors and kind of keeps the field a little bit more level. Right now, it's I mean, racing's always obviously been expensive, been like kind of like a pay-to-play sport, but I think compared to what you see in like the 80s, 90s, 2000s, the disparity is like really, really grown from kind of like the haves and the have-nots. And so having these expensive electronics just makes it like that much harder to be competitive.
Oh,
Plus, then you
100%.
gotta have someone that can set it up, and then some of it's like, you know, you need like all these connections in the industry to even get stuff, and it's challenging for sure. So I,
100%.
I assume that's why BSB does it the way they do.
They nailed it for sure. I'm not sure what the motivation behind it is. I'm sure part of that's to keep costs down for sure. Plus, you like you said, you don't have to pay the $100,000 a year, whatever the electronic guy does with his wizardry on a computer, right? Yeah, it keeps that down too as well. Plus, man, it puts the skill back into the rider, right? Where this is your traction control, your rear brakes, your anti-wheelie, you're climbing over the front of the tank, still in the gas, trying to get that traction and keep the front down. You're pushing, you're weighing with the foot pegs, and you're smiling and shitting yourself at the same time. And it's just fucking magical to watch, right? Instead of just getting in the corner and just like, and it's just bah, 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 and does what it does and fucking takes off.
That's how Chris likes it. Just turn on all the electronics.
Yeah. I just want to press one input and have it do it for me, to be honest. Wait, speaking of which, aren't they getting rid of the, like in MotoGP, where like on corner exit they do ride height device, right?
Yeah,
they're getting rid of that shit. They're getting rid of
that's
the
crazy.
start device. It's just got to the point to where, especially in MotoGP, it's an F1 sport engineer game. It really is what it is. I'm
Yeah.
not taking nothing away from the riders because that's not what I'm doing at all. But it's to the point where all the bikes are almost at the same performance level. It's whoever can work the fuckery is what I call it on the bikes coming into the corner and coming out of the corner the best to get the best use out of the tires and keep those stupid pressures down. It obviously is going to win the race if you take Marquez out of the equation, right? It's just
Marquez, man.
Dude, he's killing it. That's crazy.
I mean, nothing but respect for the guy. You know, I used to not like Marquez because I was a huge Rossi fan, still am, right? Till I die. But after Rossi retired, I found myself not such a huge fan of one person. I take that back. I'm a huge fan of all my friends that race from around the world. Those are all my favorite people, straight up, dude. And I say it all the time, right? But I feel like what Marquez has accomplished coming back from those career-ending injuries that most people would have hung up their leathers and said, fuck it, walked away, I made enough money. I mean, he slowly does it. He's just like Josh Hayes, in my opinion, meaning that he made that comeback and he's still doing it because he's purely still deeply in love with this sport. That's why he's able to do what he does. And that's a fact.
Totally. He's, yeah, kind of same thing. I remember kind of liking Rossi more, and I mean, he's just got a superstar personality, but after seeing Marquez come back from like that setback and all those failures or whatever, and just like coming and then getting all the way back to the factory ride with Ducati after doing the satellite team, and now just kind of like dominating everyone. Yeah, it's just impressive. It's hard to not say he's really kind of like the top modern era rider of
100%. And he took that ride for free.
No way.
The factory one?
No, the Grassini, he did that for free.
Yeah,
he's like, I don't want no money. I'll do it for free, right? Which again shows how deeply in love and how bad he still wants it. And I'm not saying nobody else wants it as bad as he does, but I think he wants it just a little bit more.
I mean,
right?
I imagine he's getting paid pretty well by sponsors. I know he was like,
I'm
sure Poland Bear and who else? I
Alpine
feel like
Star, Shoei, all of them, right?
I'm sure they're all paying him a good amount of money.
But the team directly, team budget.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because they're taking the risk on him, kind of like Lewis Hamilton. Marquez is one of the older guys. Yeah, I mean, he's 32, but I'm just saying.
Like, God, I'm 32.
Oh shit. Well,
the older guys.
Well, I'm just saying, like, because at some point people were like, "Oh, he's washed up. Like, he should just retire. He sucks. Like, I'm a B group track day rider. Like, I'm so much better than him." And it's like, okay,
yeah,
so
we
I
can
get
talk
it.
a while about that. Dude,
Yeah.
Discourse is it's just like I feel like the divide from reality and what you see on the internet just keeps growing, and it's definitely not good for the sport. Like
No.
just the feeling racing and being in the pits is definitely, at least in my opinion, changed post COVID, just the way people act. um but that's a whole nother deal.
Yeah, I mean, just going along with that real quick, it's I think that it scared a lot of people, right? I don't I gotta be careful what I say here, but I think a lot of people were they set out to accomplish what they accomplished, right? Scaring the public and keeping them inside their little box and bubble. Now, when the world opened up, everybody's still so unsure of what's really going on. Of course, that all generates too from the fake news and the media and all that fucking bullshit that goes on. So I don't watch the news or any of that shit at
Well,
all.
I think it's mostly because everyone was boxed up. Everyone just became like online neurotic like weirdos,
Of
instead of like
course.
Yeah,
so then in
antisocial.
person, right?
And it bleeds over into the track. It's kind of crazy to see, but I feel like I can't speak for other clubs. I mean, I have raced in other clubs, but not enough to like really gauge it. Like I always had a good time at where um what's that? Utah SBA was fun, really welcoming too. But our local club AFM in California, the oldest club in the whole country, when I started like late 2015, there was really like kind of more that family aspect, that feeling in the paddock. People would like kind of party and hang out, and it was kind of like Rockstar Light experience, up until about like 2020, and then people just like stopped talking to each other so much, and I don't know, like people just pack up and leave, and it's just a really different feeling in the paddock lately, and it's kind of changed how racing feels for me, to be honest.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, it's across all boards though. It's not just our sport, right?
Oh yeah,
For
definitely.
sure. But so listen, Andrew, let me ask you this. Your first time going to this Mexico track, how did you learn it? Did you guys do like a normal track walk before the racing starts, or you just go out for first
Um,
fucking practice blindfolded, like, here we go?
so 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 some of the guys, they do a lot of what's called pre-running, where they would just ride the course on their street bike or whatever during like normal civilian time, when it's just an open road. um and second and they would do that, and that's how they would learn the course. But I never I never did any pre-running, especially because we were kind of like time constrained. So what I did was I actually just watched Carlin Dunn's video quite a bit, and I would study that, and then I just did a couple practice runs, recorded it, and then I would watch my own video back and kind of take mental notes. And I did a lot of uh, like visualization, and that helped me like get up to speed really quickly in only like a few runs. And then after qualifying, I kind of just knew the track, made some tweaks, and that was kind of it.
So, this event, is it something that anybody can sign up for? Do you have to have a certain races on your resume? I mean, how does that work if one was to want to get into it?
Um, let's see. There are some requirements in the rule book, and honestly, I can't even remember off the top of my head. Um, but it's very grassroots. They're really just looking for someone that's safe, has a bike that will pass tech, and it's not going to do anything dangerous or like oil the course or something. So as long as you are a competent, safe rider, there's some people that are doing it and they're not ultra super fast. They're definitely like very good riders, but They're more just doing it for the experience. And then there's the guys at the front, especially like the guys that came over from the UK that are like really pushing, like professional level TT riding. So there's kind of a big mix in who shows up, and it's a lot more relaxed atmosphere. Everyone hangs out, goes to like restaurants and kind of parties in Mexico. So it's a pretty fun experience. And then there's a couple gap days in the calendar, so you can kind of enjoy Mexico while
Kind of
you're up there.
relax.
Yeah. So
How long's the event?
each so it's actually two separate events that they've been stacking in 1 week. So usually it's the hill climb first. That's a 2-day event. So you have a day with practice qualifying, and then you have the race day. And then I believe there's 1 day travel day, and then it's the same for the TT. You get your practice runs, qualifying runs, and then the race runs. So all in, I'm usually there like maybe Chris remembers. I'm gonna say like 5 or 6 days. Plus you can spend a little extra time enjoying everything, of course.
Oh, for sure. Which is what I assume you two are going to do.
Well, I think we have to get back to work. So
Yeah, that's kind of the problem with growing up is we have a lot of like real life responsibilities now.
Yeah, adulthood sucks, don't it? We
Yeah.
we want to grow up so fast when we're my son's age. I just want to grow up and be an adult. I'm like, no, you don't. Stay young, live it up, because once you get responsibilities, it really sucks. It does. So that's why I procrastinate sometimes when I have the opportunity to procrastinate. Right? I'm like, yeah, I'm just not going to do it right now.
Oh, really? Yeah, that's a lifelong struggle. But
yes, it is.
I'm managing it well. Yeah, it's I can see why guys kind of get married and stop racing. Luckily my wife is really into sports and competition, and she loves motorcycles and racing. Being Colombian, motorcycling is a lot more prevalent in their culture. So it's good to have the support.
100%. I wouldn't be able to do what I do without the love and support of my wife. I'll tell you that right now. I'd be divorced for sure. There's no question. So hey, it is what it is, right? So yeah, I feel you.
I think that's the problem. A lot of these guys, it does take disposable income to race, unless you're just, a legend that somehow got full funding. And so a lot of these guys that are entering racing are like in their 30s and 40s. And so maybe they weren't already a track rider a racer when they got married. So I think that causes a friction. Luckily for me, I was doing track riding racing long before I met my wife. So it wasn't really anything she could say
that's a good point.
if she even wanted to.
I feel you.
Because you see a lot of these like top guys. Like I'm trying to think. Craig in Supercross, his wife is like kind of like famous on TikTok, and you see those guys. Their wives are always really supportive, but I think they knew what they were getting into, so to speak.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's still a lot. People don't understand how much work and dedication it takes when they jump into a sport they've never been a part of, and they're like, "Holy shit, when we gonna spend time together?" We got 6 minutes, baby. Let's get it in real quick. I'll see you in about 2 weeks, right? Look, Chris is laughing. He knows.
Right.
I'll see you.
Oh yeah,
it's hilarious.
Yeah, it's a lot of traveling, and
yeah,
it's just there's so much goes into the sport that probably a lot of people don't really see behind the scenes.
It's
the faster you are, the more serious you get, the more it is. Just more travel, more money, more
dedication, more training.
More dedication. Yeah. Like I got that that VMC mini moto that I need to unbox and go ride with Chris sometime. That'll be a good training tool, but I myself just have like barely found the time to ride really this year, only a few times. We had some good success. AFM kind of did a test pilot, bringing back endurance racing, which I never.
That was fun.
Yeah, I had done a little bit of endurance racing with Wera, but AFM used to do a lot of endurance racing back in the
Wait,
day.
how long was the race? How long was the race we
It
did?
wasn't that crazy. I want to say it was like a 90-minute race.
Okay,
like
it felt shorter than that. Yeah, it was
Um,
fun. My bike was like blowing up because
Yeah.
we rode my bike, dude.
Stressful.
Yeah. I mean, go Hindle, sponsored by Hindle, but man, the pipe like exploded on us for one reason or another. It might have just been a defect. And then so they meatball flagged me. That's the first time I've ever gotten meatball flagged, and I'm like, oh shoot. And actually,
Yeah.
aside
Chris
from the
is
pipe,
squeaky clean. He hasn't been black flagged like 20 times like I have.
yeah, no, I've actually never been I've never been meatballed. So we actually had two failures at the same time. One failure was the pipe, which was, its own thing. The other failure was because my bike is a converted FZ07, it like how does it have fairings on it, right? It uses this like custom fairing mount that I think Robum Engineering makes. Although I don't know what his deal is. He's like lost in space because I've tried to order more and the guys just like won't ship it to you for a whole year. But uh, anyway, it uses these 3D printed plastic plugs that you screw in the fairings to, right? Because there's no threaded hole for it. Anyway, what happens is they fatigue. They fatigue over time from the vibration because they're just made out of plastic. And that also broke. But anyway, the pipe exploded. So we were sitting there. I didn't have a spare pipe. And we were sitting there like freaking chicken wiring the like pipe back on. It's like a mesh. It's not even a tube. It's like a mesh. Totally destroyed. Fiberglass all over my rear wheel. My chain is like coated in fiberglass packing. I'm like, dude. But anyway, we did it. Had fun. It was great. I had a really good time.
I love endurance racing. I think it's one of the best training tools you can do besides flat track, right? Because you ride a bike that's not perfectly set up for
Yeah,
you.
it's
Which bike
fun.
is perfectly set up? There is no perfect setup, but it's not, the way you exactly like it. Meaning that the clip-ons that are, you got to compromise. So you're riding a bike that's not set up for you in your style, but you need to learn how to go fast on it and stay consistently fast and still push yourself, right? Which translate into you changing your body style and position and all that mentally, and you don't even realize you're doing it sometimes to compensate for the clip-on angles and the brakes and all
Right.
that, right? But it makes you a better rider. It makes you a better, well-rounded rider. So when you do jump on, your bike that's set up for you, it's you're faster. So
You know what I
huge
will
shout
say
out.
though, with endurance, with doing anything endurance, is, and I kind of realized this the first time doing that, but also even if I'm like just like on the car sim or something, it's kind of hard to like slow down without slowing down too much. Like you still need to go fast, but you can't go 100% because you'll just get tired. I mean, maybe if you're extremely fit, but it's endurance racing. Like it's like a marathon. Like you don't see people sprinting at the start. They're just kind of like chilling. Andrew dropped. They're just kind of chilling and pacing themselves.
Oh, for sure. It's so you guys got any more endurance races planned for this year or
No, I don't really have. I don't think either of us, aside from Mexico, have really anything planned. Our next racing event, not in Mexico, is probably AFM at the new Button Willow track. I don't know if you heard of that one. I'm sure you have. Button Willow has their new track. It'll be our first time there. I'm excited for it. They're brand
Yeah.
new
Oh yeah,
circuit.
that should be fun.
you FZ07 going
Yeah.
with you?
For me, yeah. Andrew will probably
I'll
take his
be on
EX6.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be on the 600.
Let me ask you this, Andrew. What's the cost of racing in Mexico versus Moto America? An event weekend.
Is he
How
thinking
much
about
is
it?
the event?
Do
I'm just
what?
trying to make sure my signal was good.
Well, are you counting the bribes to the cops in the cost, or are you not counting that in the cost? Are you counting the cost of
know,
bailing out of jail, or are
it's
you not counting that cost?
it's Honestly, the cost is not that bad. It's cheaper than a Moto America weekend, that's for sure. So, I'm kind of lucky that I've done so well in the events. I only had to pay the entry fee the first year so far, because there's a rule in the rule book where if you win your class, so they had a cash purse and then some other like benefits, but one of the things is that if you win your class, you get free entry to the next year's event, and then there's like a sliding scale for second and third, where I think it's like half or a third or something like that. So that's a few $100. There's the travel. So for us in California, it's really not too crazy at all. I don't know what the costs are for the British guys that are, some of them like ship their bikes in containers over. They're doing international travel. So I'm sure they're spending a good amount of money. Luckily, we live pretty close. Chris actually lives very close. It's a good drive for me, but it's close enough to where I can just drive to Chris's house in LA County, and then we can basically go the entire rest of the trip in one day from LA. So you got your fixed costs like gas and your mileage. I easily get away with one set of tires. I think in the past with the Supermoto, I don't even think I ran new tires at all, because or I ran or maybe I ran a set of takeoffs and then put something new on for the race, because I brought 2 sets of wheels. But you really don't even need full-on racing tires. If anything, a Supermoto racing tire is pretty good for that course. But if you're on a super bike, you can really get away with like a ultra high performance DOT. Really, slicks aren't recommended. I did do it one year with slicks, but they just honestly didn't actually perform as well, and it's just like kind of more of a headache. So having the DOT tire actually kind of works a little bit better. So
I can see that.
you can budget a set of tires, or really just bring some takeoffs. I have not had to pay a lot in like bribes or anything. I don't think I paid any bribes last week.
Bullshit.
No, really not. I mean, I've heard stories of that. There's definitely guys that have like done bribes to like get their cars across and stuff, but
I think the British guys, they had to pay like $500 or something to get. They like wouldn't let them in.
He was one of those guys, but
yeah,
ultimately they shouldn't be paying the bribe. Also, the border has kind of changed since Mexico has a new president. When I went last year, it was a little bit different. They're kind of stricter now than they were in the past. But I mean, if you have some street smarts and you know the rules and the laws, you don't have to pay a bribe. I have had police asked or try to get a bribe before in the past, and I've just like played the game with them until they get bored and let me go. So you really don't need to pay the bribe. It's just, some people, they just, I mean, not everyone knows, life in Latin America the same. So I have a little bit of a leg up there, and I speak okay Spanish. So, but as long as you're smart, respectful, you won't have any issues. The locals there are pretty cool. They seem to really like the event. Especially in Loreto, they started doing a third race down in Loreto, Mexico. That's a pretty good hike. They sponsored me to ride a bike there, and I just flew down, brought all my gear. That was really cool, and the whole people in the town came out to watch us. There was probably at least 100 or a couple hundred people that were watching the event. They had the mayor of the city there. They they really appreciated the event. So
That's awesome.
it's cool. But I guess to actually answer your question, I mean, realistically, I think you can. If we're just gonna think about the gas and everything, you know, I don't think $1,500 is out of the question. That's probably pretty reasonable. What do you think, Chris?
I mean, for an international race, right? Technically, international race. That's not bad.
Not at all. And the hotels are cheap down there?
Most of them are dirt cheap.
Yeah.
Cheaper. I mean, it's not like Thailand cheap, or even as cheap as like somewhere like Colombia or other places in Latin America. But it is noticeably cheaper than here. The whole like Mexico, when you're close to the border, it's gotten pretty expensive. I'll say places like, you know, like Tijuana.
Nogales.
Yeah, anywhere like close to there, it's still like decently expensive. Just because so many people from like San Diego and they're moving down there, and the cost of living is really rising. So, but I want to say for like a small Airbnb with the like one year we really went all out. I went with Chris and had some mechanics and friends, and I mean, for like 3 nights Airbnb, I think it was only like a couple $100. So that's definitely a lot cheaper. Like anywhere around Laguna Seca. Let's see, when we did Moto America Laguna Seca, how much
Oh my God, dude. And they like stole that guy's clothing. Dude, we got a Motel 6 Salinas in 2022. 2023, we just all slept in our vans, and I had a van at that point, so I was good. But dude, 2022, I was like, okay, you know, Motel 6 Salinas, dude, $180 a night, and we had how many rooms? Two or maybe even 3 rooms, because I think my mom went and I got her a room. Freaking 3 nights, 4 nights, $180 a night times 3 rooms. Crazy bill for like a slop ultra ghetto hotel in Salinas. Crazy.
Yeah, when I went, the only time I've been there was 05 when MotoGP first come back to Laguna Seca. And I remember, man, I saved up for months to get a fucking hotel and all that shit out there because it was just retarded expensive.
Dude, just rent a car and sleep in it. Like,
yeah.
Rent an SUV and sleep in the back. Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, it's definitely the way to go. 100%. It was nice, but
so yeah. To put that in perspective, I think the hotels for 2023 Laguna Seca were more than the entire cost of the Mexico.
It was
just
tremendous.
The hotels. Yeah, like let alone the race gas, and that's another thing too. Yeah, you don't need race gas. You don't even really need a crazy bike. At least for me, I mean, I'm not Michael Dunlop riding 101% on the TT like mountain course. It's just not, the risk reward's not there. You know, I try to ride like maybe around like 80% of the pace I feel I can do. That way I just have a little bit more margin, because you know, even riding under what I feel is like definitely like, you know, the max lean angle, max pace I could do, I've still had the tires kind of move around, especially, you know, all it takes is like a tiny little bit of gravel on the road that can accumulate just a little bit of the marbles, and you know, you start to lose the rear, or you're just, you know, it's just unpredictable. I've got a pretty cool video of me doing some of the jumps. You know, if you stay on the throttle committed, I think I jumped the ZX6 going like 110, 120 miles an hour, and like really the bike was not set up to handle that. It's a road racing bike, and I think I almost died there. So you kind of got to dial it back just a little bit, I think. But I'd encourage anyone, if anyone's listening, you know, go out, try it out. It'd be cool to see Hunter. I know a couple other American racers are coming out for the first time this year. It's really the only good option for us. unless you're gonna go to Europe and do like Isle of Man or something, which is a lot more expensive and difficult to do. That's kind of it, because we, since they took away Pikes Peak, and because of just the crazy liability rules and insurance rules we have in the U.S., I think that's kind of like our only choice if you want to do like real like mountain hill climb racing or do a TT. That's kind of the event.
Yeah. I think it's wonderful that we have something at least close to the United States that we can go do some real road racing on anyway, that's, of course, if you live in California, Texas, Arizona, places like that, of course, you're right there next to Mexico. People like me in Virginia, it would be, I do like either drive or, man, shit, that's a 4-day drive, 3-day drive, right? Expense, is it cheaper to fly and ship everything out, or drive? It's but I want to go. It's on my bucket list to go. So
yeah,
for sure, that, and of course the TT, right? So 100%. So listen, let me ask you two fellas this, man. What's the plans for 2026?
Andrew?
the plan for 2026. Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yeah. MotoGP. That's it.
Well, MotoGP. Well, I'll definitely be renewing my super sport license. I'd like to kind of, as the kids say, lock in this fall, winter, spring. See how AFM goes. Get back on my motocross bike. I have not ridden motocross in over a year now, which is just crazy. But I'd like to just get back into kind of like that training cycle. I've been so focused on like work and personal life. I haven't really been racing. So, and then I'm pretty sure Chris wants to also do Laguna Seca. I mean, if the year's going great, honestly, it'd be cool to do Laguna and take another crack at Circuit of the Americas. I kind of had even the Ridge too. That's closer to us. And I've never ridden the Ridge. Circuit of the Americas would be cool. It's hard to let that go. I had a really hot qualifying lap I was doing, and then I crashed in qualifying right. I think it turned 19 right before the end of the lap. I was up something stupid like 4.5 seconds because I was just kind of still learning the track, and we just had so many problems that weekend. And it was just like a little bit over the edge and low-sided. So that's a little bittersweet. I wouldn't mind doing that again. Hopefully a strong full AFM season. Hoping the club can turn it around. I'm not sure how other clubs like CCS Ware are doing, but just to be like brutally honest, the clubs out here are kind of struggling. Just there's less riders and all the fees are going up, tire costs are going up, and
people are poorer mainly. I mean, tires went up, but I don't think $100 is making or breaking it.
No,
It's just people being poorer in general, with less disposable income.
Well, I mean, it's because cost of living's everything's getting more expensive, but nobody's getting a pay raise, right? So that's just the yin to the yang of that.
Yeah.
So plus the cost of insurance has gone up, and
it's ironic. The less racing I've been doing, I've been making more money in my life than ever before. Kind of went like master my own destiny, started my own business. I'm self-employed now as a private investigator. For the last, I don't know, year and a half, 2 years, I've been doing that. We know it better than anyone in California. It's oppressively expensive to live. So, it's not fun to talk about it. It gets kind of depressing, and it makes me, wish for like the glory days of the 2000s, when like sponsor money was flowing. That's another problem. I'm lucky to maintain the relationships I have, but I'm definitely seeing in the industry kind of like a pullback on sponsorship from certain companies, because they're just probably not really seeing the return they want anymore, or they're just, they're just trying to cut costs to stay profitable because, the company's numbers got to keep going up.
Shareholders need their return.
Yeah,
Facts.
So
Facts.
looking forward to a full AFM season and supporting the club and everything for next year. There's a some sort of new AMA like mini moto supermoto series starting up again. I heard. I don't really have all the details on it, but they're supposedly doing a lot of the tracks out here. So I don't know if Chris is going to be doing that or not, but I really enjoy like supermoto racing, and I don't know. We'll see what the future holds. I might even go race motocross if I feel like it. It's I've been having a lot of fun riding dirt, and it's also going back to costs. Being able to do stuff like mini moto or dirt bike racing or supermoto, the costs are, probably like a fifth of whatever it costs to run a super sport, like a 600 or 1,000. So it's kind of good in California. We have those options, flat track, all that stuff's out. Flat track's still pretty healthy out here.
For sure. Chris, what about you, my friend? What's going on in 2026 with you?
Sure, kind of same deal. I tried doing Moto America this year. Well, I didn't try because I could have shown up and tried, but it was on the radar. I spent the money. I got the new team shirts. I got my motor ready because that's expensive, to build the motor, especially in twins. I got everything ready. I invested the money into it. So anyway, I want to just make that a reality. Go do it again. Fun. Ideally, a different track too. I've already done Moto America twice in 2 different classes at Laguna. I'm kind of like, it's cool to go do it again, but it's like, how many times can you do Moto America Laguna? Especially if it's in the same class multiple times, then it's like, so it would be cool to go do it at a different track. The Ridge is not too far. Coda would be cool, man, but that's a hard track, but Coda would be cool. But yeah, I would like to go do it at a different track. That would be ideal.
Do it. Ain't nothing stopping you but you, right? Let's do it. Sign up and let's go.
And that's ultimately it, right? It's in your destiny. Just Laguna's easier, safer, as in like I know the track. I've raced it many times at this point. I did a track day this year actually there. Beautiful, amazing track, man. Like Laguna is just awesome. But so is the Ridge. Beautiful. I've seen the videos.
Me too. Looks like a crazy track. I would love to go and watch it in real life. Actually do a track walk on it is what I want to do. Just to see the whole layout, from my eye perspective, and because it looks absolutely amazing. To me, it looks like on TV probably one of the best tracks we have in America, to be honest with you.
It's got some freaky, weird like turns.
It's just crazy.
The camber, like a hair. Isn't one of them like a hairpin that also is like down? Yep. It's crazy. It's
insane, right? So let me ask you, gentlemen, this: what's your expectations going into Mexico in 3 weeks? Do you have any expectations, Andrew?
I'm showing up to win if I'm going. So I definitely didn't. I don't plan on showing up to any event and just kind of half-assing it. Pardon my language, or
you're good.
Just kind of going through the motions. I've had a few races like that before, and it's just not the right mentality. Just showing up and riding the bike, like. So I'm like I said, I'd like to, if possible, break my lap time. I think I did a 16-minute 47-second best time a couple of years ago on the 450. So anything under that would be great. Under 16 would be pretty wild. I think that's about around where Carlin Dunn was at. I don't know if we need a moderator like lifetime looking up the stats for us.
The fact check.
But he was, he had a really fast time. I'd have to look it up. But that's kind of the goal, is just get as close to Carlin Dunn. That's kind of the race promoter and some of the guys that helped start that. They were pretty close with him, so that's kind of like his course, and it's hard to like not remember the guy anytime I'm riding out there, especially just with the timing of how he had kind of suddenly died right after that, pretty tragically. And in a very sad way, I think his death at Pikes Peak like seemed to almost kind of cement the end of TT racing in the United States. I mean, to be determined, of course, but I'm not aware of any like TT real road racing or like mountain road racing like that that's going on in the U.S. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think there's anything.
No,
I pulled up
not.
the time. I pulled up the lap time. 14:30.
Yeah, there you go. Alien time. Yeah.
Carlin Dunn had
And
done
if you
it
watch
14:58, so just under 15. But then remember, Andrew, when we went in 2021, the guy there beat it, and that was kind of like an emotional thing. Was like, you know, because Carlin Dunn had the record, but then the record was beat.
I believe that was Mark Miller.
Yeah.
Mark Miller's a pretty famous American racer. He's definitely before our
That's
time,
my dude.
but,
Mark Miller's my dude, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had him on the podcast.
Yeah.
He's an absolute fucking legend of the sport, bro.
Yeah. I thought he raced like AMA Superbike or one of the AMA classes.
He raced AMA.
I don't know too much about him.
Raced the TT, raced the Macau. Like he
was crazy fast. He was out there a couple years ago, 3 years ago, and he came on a mission. He came with this Tuono V4 that he had set up like really optimized for that course, and he did some crazy fast time with the leader bike motor, like a low 14. And yeah, I do remember. I want to say Chris was there. I can't remember though. But Chris, do you remember meeting Mark Miller?
Yes. I mean, no, as in like maybe I don't remember the exact interaction, but I do remember talking to the man that beat the record. 14:30 was the time he did.
It's nuts, man. Absolutely insane.
Alien time, and that really takes some balls to push 1,000. And it's interesting to me he used the Tuono because that's it's kind of like more like an upright sport bike, but
it's a street fighter.
So that type of bike is actually better, really, I think, for that type of racing. Same thing with the Supermoto. I felt kind of having like dirt bike style handlebars. Just you have more leverage. You're kind of in like a more comfortable position. It definitely gets tiring. I mean, road racing is an athletic sport. Like, you know, riding 14, 15, 16 minutes full out in like full race tuck, you know, struggling to even know where you're going. That's it's not easy, both like mentally and physically. So I think having kind of a upright bike makes it a little bit easier, a little less demanding, having that leverage from the handlebars, and it has longer suspension, so it's kind of perfect.
It soaks up all the bumps and everything better.
Kind of the little bumps and cracks. Yeah, and like I said, there's a couple spots where you can get some real, like, no joke, serious airtime if you go fast enough and you're not scared. So, and anyone doing that time is going to be jumping those jumps, that's for sure. So it's cool. It's cool to see, you know, some of these really talented people coming out to these grassroots events. I know we had I am totally spacing on his name right now. It was Tommy Aguino. He was out there. I know he's an AMA guy from the 80s, 90s, and his son tragically died in AMA in the 2000s. and he had his whole Graves built 400 ready to ready to go. And I remember we were pretty close. He I don't think he would say it to me. He was always very, in good spirits, very nice guy. But I think I only beat him by something pretty small, like 5 or 8 seconds, something like that. 8 seconds maybe. It really wasn't a huge gap for how big the track is, and I think it was a little sore. But I couldn't let the old guy beat me, so I had to put my head down for that last session. I remember.
I love it.
But yeah, it's cool, having these kind of legends of the sport just randomly spawning out of nowhere, and a lot of guys our age don't even really know about these guys. So it's cool to kind of see that come back. Like Macau, wow. So he raced like World Superbike, Mark Miller.
Mark Miller. Yes, I think he did a couple stints. No, he did AMA, World Superbike, Isle of Man TT, the Macau, the Northwest 200. I mean, you name it. The Mexico track. Mark Miller's an absolute legend. 110%. Super fast. Was a commentator for the TT for years. I think this year he wasn't commentating at the TT. They got somebody else to do it, but he was the American commentator there.
He does like journalism.
Too. So he's his wife's real big in Hollywood. She makes movies and stuff. So he's an absolute living legend for sure. So I can't wait to sit back down with him. Me and him got a lot to catch up on for sure. So yeah, it's always good to see, I don't want to say the old guys of the sport, but the living legends of the sport dust off their suits and their helmets and get back out there and lay down a lap time for us young fellas. Look at and be like, holy shit, right? Like, where'd that come from? But it's good for the sport. It just goes to show that, even at times, I always wonder how difficult it is for, people that spin that fast in the sport when they hang up their leathers. How do you feel the void for the speed and the adrenaline, right? He does what he does. He makes a comeback like Mexico and tears it up, beats the track record and says, okay, I'm done for the year, right? I'm going to go back. I'll see you guys next year. So it's awesome to see. Well, listen, fellas, this has been awesome. We're an hour and 8 minutes into this. I have got to get off here because there's stuff I got to do today. I got to take my son's friend home and all that good stuff, get ready for work tomorrow. But it's been an absolute honor to have you gentlemen back on this podcast. You two just down with me for a minute. Once I end this, we'll go ahead and schedule our next one. And yeah, so I'm going to let you two end it. But before I do that, I just want to give my shout outs real quick. Like always, thank you guys so much. To everyone that watches, likes, and subscribes to this podcast, it is an absolute honor. I couldn't do it without each and every single one of you. I absolutely mean it. I love you guys so much, and girls. I just hit 10,000 downloads, which is a huge milestone for me. I never would imagine I had 10,000 downloads, right? That's absolutely amazing. I see you, Chris. He's like, why can't I do it? You should be able to.
Oh, no, it's not working.
Yeah, you should see. Go ahead, Andrew.
I just saw hard spot.
Yeah, he has like a special like cheater effect.
Yeah.
Wait. Maybe I'm not holding on to it long enough.
Maybe I don't know. I have a little thing. There's a little camera up on my screen. You can click on it and it says like reactions on it. If you click on that and add it, then you can do it. Does certain things like I do. It does thumbs up and balloons. Sometimes I'll do like hand gestures and it'll do like all kinds of crazy stuff. So I did the heart one day and I was like, oh shit, I can do hearts. This is awesome. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Let's see if it'll do it again. Oh, there it is. Boom. Let's go.
Hey.
So yeah, but anyway, listen, thank you again, seriously, to everybody, because it wasn't for all the love and support I get, I wouldn't be able to do this. So it means so much to me. And yeah, this will be out everywhere, Spotify, Heart, and all that good stuff tomorrow. So anyway, you two gentlemen, thank you guys so much for coming back on. Looking forward to the next one. But the microphone is all yours. Tell everybody where they can find you on social media, how they can get in touch with you, Chris, where they can get your merch at, all that good stuff.
Oh yeah, on my, it's funny. I actually need to link it on the pro page, but Facebook.com/Maronian 959 is, I believe, the link for me. Also catch me on LinkedIn too for all the LinkedIn viewers. Crazy that this is live streamed on LinkedIn. That's crazy.
Yeah,
I have
that's-
some like silly, just like dumb merch I made, but it's cool. So yeah, just say hi to me at the track. Shout out Vortex. Shout out Hindle, Armor Bodies, Woodcraft, and OGO. So thank you guys. Oh, and
I
Matt
love
Racing for this great
Maggio.
shirt. This awesome freaking shirt.
I love it.
So I
Looks
love it.
good
It's like a
too.
very Euro. It's like a
Yeah.
very Euro fit. It's
Yeah.
clinging
yeah,
to
yeah.
me,
Huge
but
shout
it's
out,
good.
huge shout out to Matt Racing. They've been super supportive. The owner's really interesting, cool French guy. They're a cool company. That kind of really on the up and up. They've been really popular in Europe. They had a lot of riders in the 24-hour Le Mans race actually, and they had I think they had like 13 crashes, riders in their suits in the 24-hour race, and no one had any serious injuries. So shout out to Matt Racing. Thanks to all the guys that support me. Matt Racing, Woodcraft, Armor Bodies, Hindle Exhaust, Catalyst Fraction Tuning, and CT Racing Pirelli Tires, Wonder CBD, all these guys. Thanks so much. That definitely the sponsors make it possible. You guys probably, if you're watching this, probably know where to find me, but all my socials are just my name, Andrew Gower or Andrew Gower 25. Yeah, LinkedIn, I'm even on there too, but TikTok, Facebook, Instagram.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, this streamed on LinkedIn too as well, so you guys can go back and watch it on LinkedIn too as well, right? Which is pretty cool. So I used to stream it on Instagram, but dude, Instagram it gives you a stream key, but as soon as it's done, you can't find it. Like fucking just disappears. So I'm like, why even waste my time? I just create shorts and do the whole Instagram thing. So yeah, man. Well, listen, I hope everybody's weekend. Listen, there's a lot of racing going on. I got it going on right now on my phone. BSB, we got again, MotoGP, Moto America. So yeah, tune in. I hope your guys' weekend is as proper mega as you guys are, and I will see you soon. And yeah, do you two gentlemen have anything to say before I get off here, or we get off here?
Well, thanks for having us. It's always great talking with the legend, Mr. Simcoe. Maybe we'll get Chris to actually ride a TT once before he dies. We'll see.
Once before I die, yeah.
There we go. We'll make it happen. I'll make that trip. I'll be that trip. I'll be your umbrella bitch, Chris. How's that?
There you go.
There you go. Right. There we go. We'll do some live videos down there. It'll be a lot of fun. But yeah. So listen, you two gentlemen, just tell me for a second. I'm gonna end this. It'll be out everywhere. I'll see you guys soon. And yeah, I'm gonna use the restroom real quick. I'll be right back. Let me end this.
Cool. See you. Yeah.
Calling all two-wheel enthusiasts, get ready to rev up your earbuds with Pin the Gas Podcast, the ultimate motorcycle racing podcast, hosted by Chris Simcoe, one of our very own excellent leaders here in Roanoke, Virginia. With expert analysis, behind-the-scenes stories, and exclusive writer interviews, Pin the Gas Podcast delivers the adrenaline rush of the racetrack straight to your ears. Whether you're a diehard fan or a curious newcomer, you'll gain insights that will transform how you watch and understand motorcycle racing. On your favorite podcast app, join Simcoe as he takes you on a high-speed journey through the world of motorcycle racing. Pin the Gas Podcast.